Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, getting kind of a late start here today. We're having some technical difficulties. We're still trying to get up on Facebook Live for those of you who typically watch us on Facebook. So just refreshing that, and it does look like we're up now. So that's good news. So let's get started because we've got a lot to talk about. First of all, we are on alert today for isolated severe storms. We've already had some of that, but then we'll continue to track unsettled weather on through the weekend. While it looks like today is our only risk of severe storms, we do have scattered rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms in the forecast Saturday and Sunday as well. The forecast for the weekend has changed several times over the past few days, and we'll talk a little bit more about why that's the case. Also notice it gets much cooler as we go through the weekend. In fact, Sunday we may not even make it out of the 50s in parts of the tri-state. So more on that in just a moment. Let's start with the storms happening right now. We've had severe weather all through southern Kentucky into Tennessee and stretching farther south beyond that as well. And we did have some severe storms here in the tri-state earlier this afternoon. There is a severe thunderstorm watch still in effect along that broken line of storms, and that does still include Muhlenberg, Ohio, Perry, and Hancock counties, but I do think that watch will probably be lifted for those areas fairly early. That watch was initially for those thunderstorms that pushed through this afternoon that moved through western Kentucky, bringing some heavy rain, hail, and gusty winds to parts of western Kentucky, but those storms moving to the northeast out of the tri-state now, but you'll notice there's another round coming. More showers and maybe a few thunderstorms still off to the west headed our way. So we'll see those thunderstorms beginning to push into the tri-state over the next hour or two. I'm not convinced those will be severe. We may not have enough energy left in the atmosphere after we already had severe storms this afternoon, but it is something we will closely monitor. We'll certainly get some more rain this afternoon into this evening, and then it looks like any thunderstorm threat will be over by about 7 o'clock tonight as that rain starts to move out. That is not the end of our rain chances, though. We see another round of scattered rain moving in late tonight into early Saturday morning, and then scattered showers remain in the forecast on and off throughout the day on Saturday and into Sunday as well. Now it seems that rain may even linger over into Monday, but today is our only expected severe weather. We've been sitting at this level 1 to level 2 risk all day long. And again, that's right where those severe storms moved through earlier this afternoon. So the Storm Prediction Center really nailed that outlook. I'll be curious to see if any additional storms fire up as this next round of rain moves in. But I'm afraid we may have used up a lot of the energy that we had. Both Saturday and Sunday, we've got this brown color showing up on the map. That's a risk for general thunderstorms. So we're talking run-of-the-mill garden variety thunderstorms. A little heavy rain, a few rumbles of thunder, that would be about it. Severe weather is not expected either of those days, but even just a regular thunderstorm can still be dangerous if there is lightning, and it can be disruptive to any outdoor plans. So be aware of that. As for the individual risks today, sitting at a level 1 risk for flooding, a 1 to 2 for wind and hail, and a level 1 risk for far southwestern Kentucky for that risk of tornadoes. So again, our overall severe weather risk is low, and again, a lot of those storms have already moved through this afternoon. We do continue to see that rain lingering, though, through the weekend and even into Monday. And if you've been watching all week, you know that these rain chances just kept getting extended. It looked like that rain would end Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. Now we're saying Monday. Why do these rain chances keep getting stretched out? Well, it's something that is called a retrograde low. There's actually a saying about it. A retrograde low is a weatherman's woe, and that is certainly true. They say that because they're extremely hard to forecast, and we have been struggling with this all week, and that's why you keep seeing that forecast change, is because this is an odd setup. We're used to seeing this, right? Low pressure system comes in, brings us rain. Then typically that would keep going on off to the northeast, and as it moved out, cooler, drier air would move in, right? Well, we are going to see a shift in our wind direction. It is going to get cooler, but that low, it's not going to shove off the way that it normally would. Instead, as we get into this weekend, that low pressure system just slows down. It just stalls out over our region. But this is where things get really odd. it throws it in reverse. And that low pressure system looks like it may actually back up toward the tri-state as we go through Sunday into Monday. So that's why those rain chances keep lingering, is initially it looked like this would be a normal low pressure system that would come in, bring us some rain, and then move out. Then it started showing signs it was going to try and stall on us. Now it looks like it may not only stall, it may break from the normal weather pattern and back up a little bit on Monday before it finally lifts off to the north and we clear things out on Tuesday. So that stubborn, sort of abnormal low pressure system, that's why you keep seeing those rain chances changing. We're as disappointed about having to increase the rain chances for the weekend forecast as you are, trust me, but that's what's been going on with that. Another interesting tidbit about that low pressure system is as it's kind of lingering over our region, it's possible we could see some cold air funnels this weekend. So what does that mean? What's a cold air funnel? This is actually a picture that someone took of one in the tri-state a while back. This is not a recent photo, but I just wanted to use it for our example here. This would be a cold air funnel. Looks like a very narrow funnel cloud, right? So the situation that brings us to this is you would have a strong upper level low and cold air aloft. Check and check. We're going to have this low just kind of parked over our region. There is going to be cold air in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's why it's called a cold air funnel. Then as you get these showers and thunderstorms developing along that low, anytime you've got a shower or thunderstorm, you've got an updraft, right? Air rises, and as that air rises and then condensates, it forms the cloud that then becomes that shower or thunderstorm. So that updraft from that developing shower or storm, it tends to stretch that vorticity, that circulation. And then as that happens, a funnel forms. These don't happen very often, but when they do, they're typically harmless. They very rarely extend to the ground or cause any kind of damage. It's just kind of scary looking because it will essentially look like a funnel cloud, but it may not even be thundering. It could just be, you know, a shower, and all of a sudden you've got this funnel cloud, and that's a cold air funnel. They sometimes happen in the spring or in the fall when the upper levels of the atmosphere are pretty chilly. So that's something to be looking for as we go through the weekend. We've got scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. We're not expecting severe weather this weekend, but there is that possibility that a few folks somewhere in our region may end up seeing a cold air funnel. As for our temperatures, we've already hit our high for the day. We had temperatures into the low to mid 70s earlier today, but then that rain swept through, and now we're sitting anywhere from the 60s to 70s, just depending on whether you got caught in that rain. For example, in Owensboro, where it rained rather recently, only sitting at 63. Henderson, where the rain passed to your south, sitting at 70. Newburgh at 71. But in general, our temperatures are either going to hold steady or drop generally as we go through the afternoon. So if you are headed out to Hottie Shriners Fest on the Evansville Riverfront, first of all, be aware it was initially set to start at 4. They've now pushed that to 5, hoping that this next round of rain that's moving in will be out of here by then. So it now starts at 5. Temperatures will probably be in the 60s. That rain will be moving out, but you may want to bring a rain jacket just in case, especially if you're going to be out there early, 5, 6 o'clock. It's possible there may still be a few showers around, but in general, this next round of rain should be moving out of the tri-state as we get into the evening and overnight hours. But then there is more rain on the way overnight and into tomorrow. By the end of the night, our temperatures will bottom out in the mid-50s, and then tomorrow that cooler air from the north really starts to set in. Temperatures will only make it into the mid-60s for most of us tomorrow afternoon, and again, we do have that chance of scattered rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but severe weather not expected. And it's not just here locally. That low pressure system is going to impact Louisville too. For any horse racing fans, just know around Derby time, it looks like temperatures will be in the 60s with cloudy skies. And at Derby time, there's about a 50-50 shot that it'll be raining. So you may want to keep that in mind for your Derby picks. It does look like there will be some scattered rain in Louisville throughout the day on Saturday as well. The track might be wet, and there's about a 50-50 chance it may actually be raining when they take off on that Kentucky Derby. So just something to be aware of there. As for our temperatures, it looks like Sunday is going to be the coolest day out of the next 7. I mentioned we already cool things off on Saturday. Sunday, we may not even make it out of the 50s. We're talking upper 50s to maybe low 60s and lower 60s again on Monday. But then that stubborn low finally lifts to the north out of the tri-state, and it looks like we'll see a return to more typical early May temperatures with highs in the low to mid 70s through the middle of next week, which is really right where we should be this time of year. There is another spotty chance of rain Wednesday and Thursday, but I'm not totally convinced everyone is going to see that rain. It looks like it may be a little hit or miss. Looking beyond that, from Saturday, May 10th up through the 16th, showing a trend back toward near or maybe even above average temperatures. I was already showing those more typical early May temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It looks like we may kind of hold serve there with near or maybe even slightly warmer than average temperatures then as we go into that next week, and a trend toward near or slightly below average precipitation. So we may also get into a drier weather pattern as we get into the first full week of May, which will be well deserved after we have been stuck with this stubborn low for several days. We've had rain, rain, rain this week, and it's going to keep going through the weekend and all the way into Monday before that low pressure system finally gets out of here. Let's take a quick check of the comments, see if we have any questions here. Good afternoon, Jeanette and Jeff. Always nice to see you guys in here. Let's see. I know, Mary Beth, I wish we could get rid of the rain chances for the weekend. I really do, but it just doesn't seem like that's the hand we've been dealt this time around. Yes, I agree with you, Jeanette. Rain, rain, go away. I need some sunshine. I agree. Michael Fecka and I were talking about that just this morning. We just miss just a nice dry day. Wouldn't that be nice? It seems like we're always, even when the sun's out, we just know the clock's ticking before the next round of rain comes in, and we're getting pretty sick of it around here too. It does look like we'll probably be dry with some sunshine on Tuesday though, so we all have that to look forward to. I'm not seeing any more questions, so I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Jeff Lyons will be here with your forecast on 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10, but he's also going to have the 14 First Alert Weather Show streaming on all platforms tonight at 9, and new, we are now starting to stream on our YouTube channel as well, so you can subscribe to the 14 News YouTube channel, and you'll be able to catch the streams there. We also put Jeff's podcasts, the 14, Inside Look, on our YouTube channel, so there's lots of goodies on our YouTube channel, so go ahead and check that out and subscribe if you don't already. I'm going to wrap this up now. I hope you'll join Jeff for that First Alert Weather Show tonight at 9. He'll have all the latest information on that weekend forecast, and we'll, hope that we can stay as dry as we can. There's nothing we can do about it. That low really is just going to throw it in reverse on us and just hang around. And so we're stuck with the rain for at least a couple more days. But good news is, looks like the severe weather is over. So that's something to look forward to. We may still get an isolated chance of a severe storm this afternoon, but for the most part, I think what we saw this afternoon already probably sapped most of the energy, and moving forward, it'll be mainly rain and just some run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, but rain nonetheless. All right, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Friday, a great weekend, and happy Derby, and try and stay dry.